So welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today I want to chat about a subject that got my mind busy over the past 2 weeks actually. I was at a masterclass of a famous Dutch photographer, P. Arts, a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how important the luck factor was in nature photography. And after last week I shot an image myself where I had this beautiful bush, and when I was shooting it, a deer just walked into the right bottom, exactly in the right spot for me to make a nice composition of it. And I was thinking, yes, that was a lucky moment. But then I started to think, was that luck? And how many times did I actually have luck in my photography? So it really kept me busy over the past 2 weeks thinking about, when did I have luck? And that's the question that I have for you. Do you think luck is important in landscape photography or nature photography actually? You know, like today, if you look at it, I would be surprised if I caught one image today, but I'm actually out here, you know. I could have stayed in my bed, but it looked like there was a brief opportunity. There is a big rainstorm, it just passed, so I had to wait in the car for about 10 minutes, and then the rainstorm passed, and looking on the cloud radar, it looks like there is going to be an opening in the clouds here around sunrise. So that's what I am hoping for. But if it happens, is that luck, or is that a good plan, or how do you call it in a nice English word? Perseverance, you know? That's what I have, perseverance. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think that's the most important factor. If you don't have perseverance, there's no need for nature photography, you know. You have to be out here on these days. If you're not here, you will never see something spectacular. So I want to chat with you about a couple of moments that I thought I was lucky, but when I think about it, was I that lucky? So last week I was chatting about this subject, luck, with a friend of mine, and he said, "Oh, you are so lucky. If I look at your Africa shots, you have a lot of luck." And I thought to myself, yeah, I might have been lucky, but a lot of those images that he mentioned, there was actually a solid plan behind it. So I don't know if you've ever been to Africa, and especially the Kruger National Park, but there's this thing here that if you're sleeping in a rest camp, so a camp in the middle of the park, you're only allowed to exit at sunrise. So at sunrise they open the gate and the cars just go into the park, the dozens at the same time. But just inside of the camp, before the gate, is a large map of the park. And on that map there are all kinds of magnets with colors. And what people do is they every color represents an animal. You know, I don't know the colors exactly, but elephant is red, lions are blue, something like that. And everyone, if you've seen them, you put them on that map. So what happens in the morning is that everyone looks at this map and, hey, there are lions seen over there, or leopards. So all the cars just drive straight to that location. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to do that. I just looked at my map and thought to myself, what is the longest road to the next rest camp? And then I just watch where everyone else is going, and I'm taking a different route. So what actually happens is that you have the whole road. Let's say that the next rest camp is about a 2.5 hour drive away from you. That means if someone from that rest camp drives into the same road, it will take more than an hour before you will meet each other halfway. And that means that you have the whole road for yourself. No one has come by there during that day. And that's actually what I did. And I had some awesome images, like the kudu crossing the road that you just saw, the group of lions laying in the middle of the fog, a leopard sitting next to the road. I don't know how you call them, but these are these antelopes that climb the rocks in the middle of the road, a hyena laying in the middle of the road, rhinos just next to the road in the sunrise. You know, I've seen all that stuff only because I had that plan of taking that road. Of course, I rely on the animals to be there, but there was a plan behind it. And that actually worked out really well on almost every trip that I did to Africa. So the temperature today is extremely low. It's about 2 degrees at the moment, and it's almost the dew point. So if I look at the Clear Outside app, there is a slight chance of some fog appearing. You know, last week it was about 20 degrees, now it's almost 0 degrees. So it's amazing. So that's actually why I went out. I just took the chance to have to have a look here, just a minute. No, I could have sworn there was an owl sitting there, but it was a branch that looked exactly like it. But what was I talking about? Yeah, the cold temperatures. Usually when it's this cold, there is a slight chance of this fog coming from the water, but I think there's just too much wind for any fog to appear. That's a shame. So yeah, I'm keeping my eye out for especially different colors. You know, you have this variety of green colors on the horizon now, and that might make a nice opportunity to isolate something due to different colors. So that's what I'm looking for actually. I just hope I'm not going to be wet. There's another big cloud just rolled in, but there's also a big gap in the clouds over there, so might get some nice colors in the sky here. I have no idea, so we will see. So there was actually one moment in Africa where I know I was actually lucky, and that's what I call luck. You know, like last week when that deer walked into my frame, that was luck. But if I wasn't there, I don't know exactly if it was luck or not. But on this specific location, you have a lot of rollers in Africa, beautiful birds with all kinds of colors. And I actually always wanted to see the purple roller. So I saw the European roller and I don't know the other one, but it's completely covered with all kinds of colors, beautiful birds. But I never saw the pink roller, and it took me about, I think it was the 5th trip that I did to Africa, the 4th trip, where I was actually sitting in a rest camp, eating in a restaurant, and this bird just landed on a dead tree just next to me. You know, and I looked at my wife and I said, sit still, I have to take this image. And that is what I call luck, you know, when you totally don't expect it, when you're not prepared to go anywhere, you still come home with a nice shot. But when I think of it, if I wouldn't be so, have the perseverance to take my camera gear all the time, everywhere, would I have taken that shot? You know, I think maybe it's a combination of luck and perseverance. So I think that's that might be the right thing. But look at the clouds above me here. You see, there is some color appearing now, and that's actually because over there, the sunrise is over there, and you can see just above the tree line there's a small gap appearing. So that's actually what I'm hoping for those clouds above me here to light up. And the only thing I have to do is find the composition. Well, that's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. So another great example is that people always tell me that I am really lucky with the amount of foggy images that I get. You know, that when I'm out, fog appears, but that actually has nothing to do with luck, if you ask me. You know, I have a pretty good understanding about my local area here and about weather systems or when fog appears, and that has given me so many opportunities. And still, you have to go out to see it. You know, if you don't go, you have nothing to show. That's just a bit of a slogan that I always tell to everyone. But just push yourself out there. Something will always happen, except for today maybe, but especially with fog, I just know that if the temperature reaches the dew point, in the morning there is a good chance of fog. There's a little bit too much wind today, and there's no sunlight, so there has to be a combination with blue skies, no wind, and a very low temperature at night, reaching the dew point, and then you get at least fog above lakes. So that's why I travel to places with lakes a lot. You know, there are a lot of places in the Netherlands that are only hills or only heather, but it doesn't appear that often there. You know, it's always starting above the water if you're looking for that kind of foggy conditions. And I've seen it so many times on so many occasions, but also when I'm abroad. Last year when I was in France, there was this extremely large thunderstorm coming by for the whole day with hailstones like this size. Amazing event. And in the evening I was out, took a couple of nice images with light, and then I was thinking to myself, all this rain has to go somewhere in the morning. You know, it was going to be a cold night, and then the next day clear blue skies with high temperatures up to 25 to 30 degrees. The only thing that I could imagine was this water, all this rain, is going to vaporize in the morning, and it's going to create a hell of a lot of fog. And I was exactly right. Exactly that happened that morning. So I went out, took a couple of amazing images that I was really happy with on that trip. So fog has nothing to do with luck. It's just, yeah, in my opinion, it's knowledge. You know, you can predict it, and that's not luck. Prediction has nothing to do with luck, if you ask me. So there has been so much rain here in the Netherlands over the past few days. You know, it's been pouring down actually. But yeah, my shoes just got completely soaked a couple of days ago. And this morning I wanted to put them on. And they were still completely soaked. I didn't put them on the heater at home, so I should have done that. So I'm here walking around with my sneakers through an area that's completely wet, so it's probably gonna deliver me another couple of extremely wet shoes. But just look at me behind me here. There are normally, this pond is about maybe 50-60 centimeters lower, and there is a big barrier through the next lake over there. But the water level is so high at the moment that everything here is flooded, and it's actually almost reached the path down here. So I think a couple more days of this and I just won't be able to walk here anymore. It will be completely flooded here. So it is actually a good thing that there's so much rain, because the last couple of years we had some extremely long periods of drought here in the Netherlands. So it's a good thing that nature can recover a bit at the moment. So still haven't found a shot yet. I'm just actually looking at one at the moment. It's not a landscape, but at least it's something. But there's a gull sitting on a dead piece of wood over there, which looks pretty nice, but just trying to get that background away somehow. So I'm gonna see if I can do that. So I just got out Mr. White here to shoot that gull on that piece of dead wood in the water there. When two, I don't know how you call them in English, but sort of duck, they just started to kill each other here right in front of me. And I think I didn't get enough shutter speed. You know, it's still quite dark to get those fighting ducks with each other. But it was a nice scene to watch, and I think I got a nice video footage of it. But eventually the one that was being killed got away underwater. You know, it swam away, and at first I thought, is it drowning? But after a while it popped up 20 or 30 meters further on this side. So yeah, amazing to see. You know, that's something you see when you have perseverance to go out here. You know, it's not about luck, it's about being here. And then of course things happen, but that's not luck. You just somehow in photography you make your own luck. You know, if you're not here you won't see it, but if you're here you see the most amazing things, and that has nothing to do with luck, if you ask me. You know, last week I was lucky. You know, the video with the bunker complex, where I was shooting these foggy scenes at sunrise with these gnarly Fennel forest like trees. you didn't see it in the video, but that video had a bit of a strange ending. You know, what actually happened was I was standing on top of one of those bunkers, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna move my tripod to the other corner of the bunker. So I picked up the tripod, and what actually happened was the camera just fell off the tripod, and I could just put my feet underneath it, so it didn't hit the bunker, but it hit my feet. I fell in the grasses down next to the bunker, and it actually quite scared me. And someone there saw it, and he said to me, "Whoa, is it still okay? You are really lucky." And that's it. I was really lucky there. That was luck, if you ask me. You know, if my feet wasn't there, it would have smashed the concrete of the bunker, and then the whole trip was over, and I would have probably had to send the camera in. But yeah, maybe that's not luck. Maybe it was just stupid of me not to tighten the camera on the tripod. You know, there's always something to say for luck, you know. But if you ask me, we make our own luck, and that's the most important thing. So you might have noticed, but the Fl36 photography gloves are back out again. Like I mentioned, last week it was about 20 degrees, so I didn't need them. But right now it's around 0, 1, 2 degrees maximum, and it's just extremely cold. And this Urbex version that they sent me is just perfect for these changing conditions when temperatures are rising after sunrise. You know, they are not extremely warm like the tinted ones that I wore in Sweden, but they're just really comfortable, warm gloves, and yeah, I can highly recommend these to anyone. You know, you can, like I always say, you can put your fingers out. There are magnets here. They're just warm, comfortable, leather, easy to clean. So yeah, definitely worth buying if you ask me. So if you're looking for good photography gloves, then please use the link underneath this video. I use the Tinden in Sweden, and this one is called the Urbex. So if you're interested in that, then please push the link down here. So I think I actually found a pretty nice shot over here on the other side of the lake. You know, it's not much, it's not any fog or any light or anything, but the composition is just pretty okay, I think, with some nice colors matching, foreground, trees, nice sky above it at the moment. Let me take the shot again with that nice sky. I'm using a 10-second timer here to make sure that there's no camera shake or anything in this shot, keeping the shutter speed at about 1/200 of a second to make sure that those leaves are not moving. There is a lot of wind here, but let me show you on the other side. You know, it's about this scene right over here, and if you look at the back of the camera, you can see that I use a little bit of foreground here of those islands, then the water, then there is just this layer with all kinds of different green trees, and then you can see a little bit of that sky. And by underexposing the image, and I'm actually doing it at the moment by using this function here on my OM-1 MKII, this one, where I can make the highlights a little bit darker and then raise the shadows a little bit, so I can increase the dynamic range in this image by doing this. Another 10-second timer, and I think that makes a pretty nice image. If you use this technique on the OM-1 with that diagonal line, make sure to reset it after you did it, because the camera reminds those settings, and you can see it in the bottom here. Let me show you, just in case you ran across this problem once. In the bottom here, just next to your exposure compensation, you can see this diagonal line, and that means that the diagram is activated. So you have to go back into this diagram and use the OK button to reset. Just hold it and it will reset again, and you will see that the icon is gone here in the bottom. So just make sure to do that every time you use that function, because if you don't, and for example you have it to an overexposure, you will walk around and all your images will be overexposed. So definitely make sure to do that. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it's too little, just let me know in the comments, but at least I'm happy with this shot. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Just make your own lock. You know, that's what it's all about. Just be out here and eventually those things will happen. But is that luck or is that perseverance? I leave that up to you. Just leave a comment, let me know what you think. Or if you ever encountered something like that. You know, like today, I could have stayed at home, but at least I got 2 shots, maybe that goal on the pole and the other shot of those trees. I think it was pretty nice. So yeah, I'm happy I went out today. Didn't go as I hoped it would be, but at least I enjoyed today. So it's a bit of a funny day because I only have a couple of hours because my wife is going to a big football match today. The local club here, NEC, is playing the cup final for the first time in 25 years, I think. So 17,500 people from this city are going to the other side of the country today to watch that match, including my wife. And that's probably why there's no one out here. You know, everyone is preparing for that match or sleeping out because it's going to be a long night tonight. So yeah, and that gives me the opportunity to be out here on my own. So that's a very good thing. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. Please leave a comment and please push the thumbs up button if you like the video. And there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you push that and the notification bell, underneath the notification bell is a pop-up screen. If you select all, you will get a message when I release my next video. It's always on Thursdays and Sundays. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next time in the landscape. Bye bye.